Yeah, so almost 20 years ago, there was a group of us going to a very works-based church. And several of those folks had started to come to Lincoln Berean on Saturday nights. And they said, Heidi, you need to come to Lincoln Berean because they study the scriptures and they actually open their Bibles and you can hear the pages turning. And the first Saturday night I came here into this auditorium, you're doing State of the Church, which it gives me chills when I talk about it now. So I grew up in a very rural area in the western side of South Dakota. Every little girl, we grew up and we just want to be approved of and we want to be told we're beautiful. And as much as I knew that my daddy loved me, he never actually said that to me. That was never really communicated. It was all about work. And so, really what I wanted more than anything else was acceptance and approval and someone to tell me that I'm beautiful. Brian was right in the midst of Galatians. Everything about my worldview was being challenged. Everything I'd grown up with. And God just spoke to me. He said, Heidi, I have your heart. You can't keep a law. You can't keep a Sabbath. You can't do any of that, but I love you. And it was right there in that moment that I knew without a shadow of a doubt that God loved me and Jesus Christ had died for me. Every weight just fell off of me. Galatians changed my life. Jesus changed my life, but Galatians made it real. So it's over 15 years now, this church and the people in this church have completely changed my life. Brian invested in a group of us, meeting with us weekly, working through the concepts of the Bible that we had so misunderstood. I was going then on Tuesday nights to Titus at night. What a blessing and an honor to be with those beautiful women and to walk with them. And then besides that, there was also the singles group. My best friend, Mary, we found each other at the singles group through another friend. I don't even know how to really express how much I love this place, but it's not just the place, it's the people, it's the spirit. So I'm heavily involved with equestrian pursuits. And about 5 years ago, a gal started to come to the barn where I had my horse. And she was listening to a few of us talking about Jesus and how much we loved him. We would talk about doctrine, theology. And as I got to know her, I sensed that she really wanted to know. She had a lot of questions. So I would ask her to come to church and ask her to come to church and ask her to come to church. And finally, on a Saturday night, we were just finishing up John. She came to church with me.
Oh, hi! I didn't know you were going to show up. My sweet Dawn.
I remember you asking me to come to church. Some of the things that we had talked about at dinner were said during the sermon. And then when Brian had asked for anybody who was willing to raise their hand or come up and surrender. And I remember whispering to you, I feel like I need to go up. And you were like, let's go up. And I was like, ooh, wait a minute. So you just took my hand and up we went. And I can't adequately express the words of that feeling and my gratitude for you and for God pushing me, shoving me, kicking me your direction now into Berean's direction. So thank you. Just love you. I love you too.
So we come together to know Jesus, to become more like Jesus, and then to help others experience the same. From the time that I entered the doors of this chapel until right now, God has radically altered my life from being so alone and feeling so alone to grabbing my heart, breaking off my shackles, bringing me into the body of believers, people investing in me, teaching me, mentoring me, that I can take that now to other people, that it's going out. In my hometown, out in western South Dakota, God has been behind the scenes creating a Berean church. And it's been so beautiful because my dad is a completely different person than the man that raised me. And he has had the most beautiful transformation as Jesus has held on to his heart. This church ripples across, it ripples across the world, all for his glory. It's a beautiful thing.